Hello beginner driving, this is Mr. Van, and today is going to be the 12th video, or the end of the 6th week, which means we are going to be doing our idle line trouble today. But before we do everything, we are going to be doing our warm-up, which is going to be a bit of a core workout, and then we are going to be talking about our physical and mental goal, and then we are moving on to our idle line trouble, and we are going to try and incorporate our physical and mental goal with our idle line trouble. So first we are going to be doing our warm-up, which is going to be a bit tough. So if you're going to be hard, it's going to be hard, and if you're going to be tired throughout the whole thing, it's perfectly okay to just pause the video, take a little breather, get some water, and then get back right into it. So you don't have to do it all the way through, no pausing, just go all the way through. That's not what I want. If you guys are really tired, if you guys are really sore or something, get a water, get that little breather, sit down, do something so that you're not dying inside. Make sure that you are actually okay and not, well, hurt. So first, I'm going to tell you the layout. So the layout of this warm-up is going to be 30 seconds, and then 15 seconds of a break, and then 30 seconds of a workout, and then 15 seconds again. So first is going to be our teaching portion of this warm-up. So this part of the warm-up, I'm just going to teach you how to do this warm-up, and then you guys can actually try it out if you pause the video. If not, you can just watch again, and I'm going to teach you the second part of the warm-up, and then the part after that, we're just going to be doing that 30 seconds of that first workout, and then giving you a 15-second break. So if you guys want that 15-second break, you guys can take a breather, get your water, and then another 30 seconds, and then 15-second break, so you can get water, stretch, breathe, before I start talking to you guys about your physical and mental goal, which, if you guys don't stretch, that's perfect time to stretch, because that usually takes me a couple minutes, which is perfect for stretching. So please, if you can, stretch after you do the workout during my talking portion, because that is what I would actually make you do. So first is going to be our first 30 seconds of our warm-up. So the first 30 seconds, you guys don't know how to do it, but it's basically like crunches. So you want to lay down all the way on your back, not just halfway like we usually do for crunches. This time I want you to lay back all the way. You can touch your head to the ground if you want to. If not, tuck your chin. That's even better. And you can do anything with your hands basically. You can put it on the sides, you can put it on your hand, on your chest, you can put it on your stomach, whatever you feel like, and your legs are going to be straight. Now after your legs are straight, you're going to put them off the ground, and you're basically going to be walking all the way up as high as you can, and then back down. So that's the first portion of the warm-up. So laying down, going up, keeping your legs straight, back down without touching the ground, making sure you're focused so that your core is holding your legs up before they touch the ground, and then you walk back up. So that's what we're going to be doing for 30 seconds, and then we're going to take that 15-second break for that pause, and then we are going to move on again next 30 seconds for a second portion of this warm-up, which I'm going to actually change where I'm sitting. If I'm actually going to be doing this video, I'm not going to be changing in the actual 30 seconds, because this is a bit difficult for me to do because there's a wall behind me. But same thing, I'm laying down, the legs are on the ground right now, my head's not touching the ground. You can do anything with your hands. I keep them by my side, and then you lift them off the ground like so, and then you go over, under. So your legs go over and under while not touching the ground. So if you touch the ground, that's not really a problem. Take them off the ground and then do it again. And then once you get tired, back on the ground, maybe take a little breather, get a water, again, over, under, 30 seconds, breathe, over, under, whatever, and then 15 seconds of break, water, sit down, stretch, whatever. So, let's begin. Let me get to a round number so I can get a start of 30 seconds and go. Make sure you're breathing throughout this whole thing. This might get hard at some point, but you guys should keep this up for 30 seconds if you can. If you can't, again, put your legs on the ground and then get a water, breathe, sit down, whatever you need to. And 5 more seconds and stop. So take a little breather, 15 seconds, get a water, whatever you need to. Breathe in, breathe out, hands on your head if you need to, so that you get that maximum airflow. And then we are going to start. So over, under for 30 seconds. After this, make sure you stretch because you can get very sore, which might make you get hurt, which is not the goal of this. This goal is not to hurt yourself. It's actually to make you get stronger. So that is not the goal after all. So 5 more seconds and stop. Back up. Now, if you need to stretch, take that 15 seconds, breathe in, breathe out. I won't be talking for this 15 seconds, but I want to make sure that you guys are breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, so that was 15 seconds. I hope you guys actually did the warm-up. I hope you guys are warmed up. I hope you guys are sweating a little bit, maybe a little sore in the core. Whatever you think you are, that's perfectly fine. Now I'm going to be talking to you guys about our physical and mental goal, which is self-discipline and power. During this part, I want you guys to stretch so that you guys don't really lose anything, but at the same time, you guys are listening and being attentive, which means that you guys are paying attention and actually listening to these lessons that I'm teaching you. So, first, our physical and mental goal is power and self-discipline. Like I said, power, this week we are using backup mass, which means we are just leaning into our target. So, if you guys haven't noticed, whenever you lean into something, you usually get more strength. So, let's pretend you guys are on a swing. So, let's say your mom or your dad is in a swing, or your brother, your big brother. So, or your big sister, whatever you can imagine. So they're on the swing, but you're trying to push like this, just no leaning, no nothing. You're just pushing, but they're not really going that far. So you get a running start and you push. That gives you that little extra push forward because you're leaning, and then you get that more power, which makes them even swing farther. So that just shows you that when you lean, you get more power. So instead of just pushing like this, when you lean into it like that, you get that more power so that you actually make them go even farther. So make sure you guys are thinking about that. That's just one example of getting extra power. Another example is obviously with karate. If you guys do a punch, and you're not leaning, but you're just rotating, you won't get that much power. But if you lean into it, and you get that extra stance, that extra push forward, you'll actually get more power and actually hit harder. So that's another example of one way to get power, as well as the swing. So whatever you can think of, that's how I want you guys to think of backup mass. leaning forward, giving that extra push, or leaning forward and actually hitting hard. It's the same thing for both examples, but you can apply them to both. So after that, we are going to be talking about our self-discipline. So self-discipline is doing something even though you weren't told to, because you know it was right. So something that you can do, like fold your blankets, or do your bed, or clean your toys, or help your mom with groceries. Those are things that you know is right, but I want you to think, do you have to do it because your mom told you to, or do you have to do it because you know it's right? Because you can have both, but self-discipline is just doing it because you were right. Because that's the self part. Self-discipline and discipline are two different things. Discipline is doing something because you were told to. Self-discipline is doing something by yourself because you know it was right, without being told. So something like locking the door at night, or picking up your toys. You know it's right, so you do it by yourself. You don't have to be told, hey, blank, please clean up your toys. Or hey, blank, please lock the door at night. Hey, blank, get your food. Hey, blank, clean your room. Whatever you think. That's discipline. Discipline is saying, hey, you, do this. Hey, you, do that. That's discipline. You want to make sure that you're the person doing that. You want to make sure you're saying, hey, me, go clean up my room. Hey, me, go clean up the toys. You want that to be yourself, and that's self-discipline. Like these classes. I don't know if your parents are telling you to do this, but if your parents aren't telling you to do this and you're doing it because you want to do this, that's self-discipline, because you know that this is the right thing to do, which makes it self-discipline, and you're doing the right thing, and that is great because you guys are actually doing the mental goal for this month, which is awesome. Give yourselves a pat on the back, whatever you want to do. Maybe clap for yourself, whatever you want, but you're doing awesome. And anyone who's not doing it by themselves, that's still good. Make sure that you try and do this on your own, making sure you're building self-discipline. Maybe if you aren't doing these classes because you want to, or you feel like you have to be told to do this, maybe try and start doing it on your own, or maybe do something else because you know it's right. Maybe clean up your room without being told because you know it's right, or help your mom with groceries, whatever you think. So we just did our warm-up, and now we are actually going to be moving on to our I don't want trouble, and we are going to try and incorporate our physical and mental goal with our our I don't want trouble, and then obviously some sort of drill to make sure that we understand the techniques and not just back fist palm strike. So first, as I just said, this is just going to be back fist palm strike. But make sure you start off in that guard stance, and then when you do that palm strike, you're actually rotating. So instead of doing that, I want you guys to actually lean forward and rotate like I said last week. Rotation gives you power, and actually rotate to get that extra power, as well as leaning forward to get that extra power as well. So back fist, palm strike. Getting my guard stance, back fist, palm strike. One last time, back fist, palm strike. Making sure that my toes pointing forward for my back foot and my front foot basically pointing into a corner. Now that I've talked about that, make sure you guys are actually using your physical and mental goal throughout this whole thing. So making sure, especially for this technique, making sure that you guys are using power. So rotating, like I said, for that palm strike, you want to make sure you're rotating, twisting, getting that extra power, as well as back of mass, which will actually lean forward and get you extra strength and extra power. Now, we are going to actually be doing a warm-up sort of drill, for you guys to actually learn the techniques. So first, we are going to need a couch, or if you can't use the couch, or if you're not allowed to use the couch, you can use a bed or a chair or something with a soft cushiony part. You can also use a pillow with someone holding it, whatever you need. So for the best example, I'm just going to be using a couch, but you can use whatever. So let's imagine that I have a couch right in front of me, so 1 cushion, 2 cushions, 3 cushions, or if you only have 2 cushions, 1, 2, or if you want to use just one part, like 1 pillow, 1. So first, I'm going to be showing this in 3 parts. So 1, 2, 3, or imagine there's 3 parts, or if there's only 1 part, just do it on that 1 part. So first, this far side, I'm going to get in my guard stance, and I'm going to do a back fist. So guard stance, back fist, making sure I'm leaning into it and rotating so that I get extra power. Now, I'm going to run in front of the couch, but I'm not actually going to be running into the couch, because if I did, my back would be towards you, which means you wouldn't be hearing me. So let's just imagine the couch, for some reason, is facing this way now. So I'm going to actually be doing a palm strike now. So same thing, you're going to run in front of the couch, you're in the middle section of it, and now you're going to be doing a palm strike, getting that rotation, getting that backup mass, and pushing forward as if you were pushing that swing. Same thing, you want to push forward and lean into it. So pushing forward, leaning, and getting that extra power, making sure you have that extra strength and you hit harder because of it. Now, I'm going to be running on this other side, and instead of using the same hand for that back fist, I'm going to be using the other hand. So back fist. So let's say I use my left hand over there, I'm going to be using my right hand over here. It's the other way around too. Let's say I use my right hand over there, I can use my left hand for this side. Whatever you think. Now, you run over again, you can do it one more time, or if you want, you can do push-ups. Either way, you're going to be doing push-ups at the end. So let's say you want to do it one time for practice, and then you do it a second time, and then you do push-ups, and then you go from the beginning, 1 time, 2 times, push-ups, whatever. You can do whatever you want. But when you do the push-ups, I want you to make sure you're using your palm heels. So these parts of your hand at the bottom, making sure those are on the ground instead of your fingers, your knuckles, whatever, your thumbs. Make sure it's only your palm heels, because that makes you know that that is where I'm hitting with the palm strike, my palm heels. That is what I want you guys to learn from that. I want you guys to put those push-ups in actual use and learn that I'm using this part for that palm strike. And that is going to be it from me. I hope you guys are going to have a good day, and yeah.